Welcome to Shoulder Tap. Time to share some success and, of course, trying to avoid some failure as we do see. So let's bring in our risk manager, Brett, to the show here, and let's see who's doing well and who needs a tap on the shoulder. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing, Brett?
I'm doing great today, Eddie. It's warming up in Chicago and should be a beautiful weekend for us. I know we're a couple days away, but we've got a lot going on in the markets today. A couple that I'm going to tap on the shoulder and give what we think might be able to help the traders see a little bit more success in the markets, as well as some
Mhm.
that we're just going to highlight what they're doing right. So really excited. We have another five-figure trader actually that is up five figures today in the live markets that had also finished the day up five figures yesterday.
Well, let's get going here. I'm,
So
I'm excited. I
excited
got the
for
trade
them.
reports ready to go. And not only are they going to learn, but those that are listening, hopefully they pick something up too.
Excellent. Likewise, and we're all here just to learn from each other, and the markets teach lessons a lot of times to individuals, but if you can learn it from somebody else, it's generally a lot lower cost of entry than learning it yourself trading in the markets. The first person I want to mention, actually, I kind of beat them up a little bit on Tuesday. I did speak with them after, and they said, "Thanks so much. It's all from the heart," and that's Coach
It
Dakota.
is.
Coach Dakota profited $1,800 yesterday, and everything that I saw, it was one direction and really didn't have any pullbacks in profits yesterday. Um, so far today, Coach Dakota is up another $3,600. And yeah, these numbers aren't as
Wow.
big as those five-figure days that Coach Dakota had been having, but we keep this up and it's going to quickly add up. As we saw on Tuesday, the numbers kind of just were right around flat as far as profits and losses go in the duration of the account. So really excited to see this trend. And I think today is his fourth, if not fifth, winning day in a row. So really
Oh, good.
excited. We've also got David A in the live markets up just shy of 1900. And then Jesus V is up 10,112
Yes,
today. He was up
10K.
just over 10,000 yesterday. And
Wow.
actually,
It is
I
in a
am
row?
saving 2 days in a row, which is a very difficult thing to do for anybody. And
Uh,
Jesus is actually going to be the second that tap on the show. But if anything, Eddie, I'll move to it.
all right, let's get
So
going
we'll
here.
start
And
with Elliot R. Elliot R. We reviewed yesterday, and Elliot is or was in a 150K XFA that we decided we're going to be calling that account up to live. And there's some things that we really like in this account. And one of them is that the trader only takes 9 trades a day. And as a risk manager, I love this one. It's 2 contracts per trade, totaling
yeah,
on average 20 contracts traded per day. So really limiting the risk, and they appear to be highly selective, really limiting the losses on the trades. One thing that you may see, Eddie, I'm curious what you think about those average win loss durations on the trade times.
you
If
know
you have a
what?
chance to look at those.
I'm looking at the trade report here, win loss duration here. Um, he's really good. And the thing is, I'm scrolling down on his trade report and I'm trying to see when did he have a losing day? When did he have like 3 out of the 21 days? Um, I mean, this is great. And one of those days was only down $16. I think probably had something to do that day. Put a trade in, didn't work, and he left. But good
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, 81% winning days. And one thing I want to highlight
Wow.
is average losing day. Average losing day is less than half. I'm sorry, is I was thinking their daily loss limit was 1,000, but their average losing day is less than $500. And that really stands out, showing that the daily loss limit is really something that should be there for rare events. It shouldn't be something that you're hitting every day. It should be maybe a couple few times a month at the most that you want to use that as your backstop, because you want to be able to trade when market events happen. And if you've hit your daily loss limit, you might be able to only sit there and watch. And I want to trade. We all want everybody to be able to trade. And if you're locked out for the day to stop some of those losses, you might miss something that you could have jumped on. And getting back to the average win-loss duration for Elliott, it does look like you are very selective with your trades, but your average win trade time is about 3.5 minutes. Your average loss is just shy of 7 minutes. That can be a tough thing to do
Yeah.
where you have trades that you just sit and watch that are going against you, but it looks like it's working. Just don't get married to a trade and make sure you have a chance to get out, because a lot of times the market will give you an opportunity to get out of a bad trade or a losing trade. However, you have to be willing to take it. A lot of times I could have scratched a trade, but I said, I don't want to scratch a trade. I want to make a tick to cover my costs on that trade, or whatever silly
Yeah.
rationale I had. And ultimately, I watched it go even a tick or two in my favor. And then suddenly I had a bigger loser than what the markets should have allowed me to get out at.
Again, that hole, right? That hole just keeps getting bigger and bigger. I like
Yeah.
this. One thing I see here, Brett. It's 150K account, and of course it took him 21 days, but his net P&L is $614. I mean, there's no greed with this trader at all. Well managed, um, putting up what he needs to put up, his expectations, and shutting it down. I like this trade report.
We do too, and that's why we chose to call them up. And another thing I want to highlight, yeah, we throw around big numbers on Top Step TV, on Shoulder Tap, and we highlight a lot of these five-figure traders. That $614 over the course of all 21 days of this express funded account have added up to almost $13,000 in profits. I see the trader took a payout just last week and paid themselves, and that's what everybody is here for, to trade better and be profitable in the markets. Um,
Good
so
stuff.
Elliot, excited for your live funded account. Want to move right along, and unless you have something more to
Right?
say, Eddie, to
Let's move
Jesus.
on. No, he's
All right.
great. Jesus.
Jesus is in a live funded account. It's a 150K live funded account. And the average daily Jesus, I had mentioned earlier, made $10,000 yesterday, $10,067 yesterday, and is up $10,112 today. You might
Lock it
say,
out,
wow,
shut it down.
and
Oh
and
yeah.
that's what he did yesterday. And I see a lot of parallels between Jesus and Dakota, Coach Dakota, where there's a lot of daily loss limits hit here. Actually, 75% of the trading days are daily loss limits of 3,000 or more dollars. One other thing I
I'd
want
see
to
that.
highlight: the trader has cleared, assuming they stop
Hmm.
trading today, like they did yesterday at just above 10 grand. They've cleared 20 grand in the past 2 days trading. With that change, that $574 that you see at the top of the trading card, that's
Right.
without today's trading, but it does include yesterday's
Okay.
big win. With today's
It's still.
trading factored
Yeah.
into Jesus's account, he's still averaging down $146. So take this as an
Yeah.
opportunity to kind of hit the reset button. Say, you know what? Maybe I should look at Elliott's trading a little bit more and go for those more modest numbers that, yeah, you're like I like to say, you're not going to take over the world or rule the world in a week or two or a month, but you're going to make a comfortable living. And that's what you're here for, to trade for tomorrow and pay yourself.
Right. I'm scrolling down here looking at the trade report, and um, DLL, 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 DLL. Um, these big days have saved him. Now, let me ask you, Brett. Um, what category would you put this trader in? I'm sort of looking at possibly leaning towards. Um, let's pull out the home run bat and see what happens. Let's pull out the big wood and try to have a big day. And a lot of this is just shutting him down early.
Yeah, I would classify Jesus as a home run hitter, especially given this trade report where anybody that hits their daily loss limit 75% of the time. And we're saying these things so that you can acknowledge it and hopefully improve on it.
Learn from it. Yes,
Um
improve on
yeah,
exactly, Brett.
and
Yeah,
definitely a home run hitter, but like we showed with Elliott, those 4, 5, $600 days, they add up quick when you do it consistently. And as anybody in the commodity sector will say, it's not about big days, it's about consistent profitable days and limiting losses.
right. Now, Jesus was yesterday's live P&L leader. So I mean, you want to build confidence. You want to pat yourself on the back. And just looking at this trade report, so many bad days can really hold you down, making decisive decisions. And I really hope these 2 days in a row sort of give him a little relief and open it up a little bit more where his focus is a little bit better. His management is much better. I mean, he's getting himself out of the hole, and that hole was dug pretty deep. But these last 2 days, I mean, that's helping. He's getting back to, I think, where he should be.
Yeah, absolutely. And a couple of things that stand out to me with Jesus's trading: 6 contracts per trade. That's a ton of risk. Do one or two and work towards that $500-600 a day. And the winning trade percent at 22% isn't the greatest. Yeah, you're making almost
Mhm.
$1,100 on the winners and losing 500 on the losers, but both of those numbers are almost too high. If the losing one was a little bit lower and the winning trade percentage was higher, or if just the winning trade percentage was higher, I'd say this is fantastic.
Yeah,
But we're
yeah,
having
yeah,
too many days. We're too comfortable with losses. We need to switch something up and really get on a more stable platform or stable foothold with the trading.
yeah.
And it's a great spot to hit that reset button. Maybe even consider taking a few days off.
Too, Brett, I'm looking at P&L highs here. And usually if you're trading those, I usually use the three trades. If there are three losers in a row, I've got to take a step back and reevaluate. And I'm not really seeing anything. Most of these trades were straight into losing trades. First trade of the day, losing trade. Second trade of the day, losing day. Hit the DLL. That's what you got to ask yourself. Am I seeing the market correctly? Do I have the focus? How's my mindset? Um, don't fight the market. We're not here to fight. We're here to trade. Be a trader, not a warrior, right? So I think that's what he was trying to do, fight the market, and the market was winning too much. But like I said earlier, he's getting himself out of the hole very nicely.
Absolutely. And really got to a good spot. And I mean, trading should not be flipping a quarter between buddies where one wins and one loses. If you have a 50-50 shot on something, the best thing you can do is probably not take it even, or just go real small. There have been some trading tests that I think are of yesteryear now, but there have been some tests that prop shops would use to vet their traders. And one of the questions was, on a coin flip, how much of your capital are you going to risk? And the answer is certainly not 50%. Um,
Right?
And that's why Elliott has the same daily loss limit as Jesus, and Elliott's average losing day is less than $500.
Right.
Um,
I see
moving
that. Totally
along,
agree.
let's yeah,
Take a look.
and yeah, Mark O is the third trader that we want to talk about. Mark O is in a 50K XFA, and this is kind of another side of the coin that I'm talking about. Winning days 57%, average daily P&L 173. Has been in the account for 30 days, almost a 60% winning day. Average P&L per trade, we've got a 2-to-1 risk over reward over risk, as Hogue likes to say, where he's making 200 on the winners, losing 100 on the losers, but the winning trade percent is only 36, which there is some room for growth there. But your selectivity with the trades, with 11 trades per day, your intraday P&L highs and lows, they're really modest, and you're really reining that in and limiting your losses. One thing that I really want to highlight for Mark is Mark's had 30 trading days completed in this express funded account.
I see. Right.
How many daily loss limit days do you see, Eddie? I'll give you a hint. It's a low number.
It is.
There's
I'm
zero.
scrolling.
There have been zero daily loss limit days.
No, yes. Nice.
And
Once
if you
again, going
want to
for base
stand
hits.
out, yeah, that's how you
Yeah.
stand out is little
Oh,
base hits. You don't try to hit the 10 grand winner. You try to hit 10 $200 winners or whatever your trading style
yeah.
suits best, because having a 20 or 30% winning trade rate is a difficult thing to sustain, and managing a winner can be just as stressful or even more stressful than managing a losing trade, which is something that is
Right.
not
Right.
is easily forgotten by a lot of traders.
You
um,
mentioned managing. We talk about the three boring ones: discipline, patience, management, and you tend to forget to use those. Very patient here, and guilty as charged. I'm still working on my patience after decades in this business. You want to have that home run day. You want to put up the big numbers. Who doesn't? But as we keep going through shoulder tap, you're going to realize that hitting these base hits, small profits add up. It takes time to see success. There are some traders that come in here, sign up on a combine, and right away they're an XFA. Very low number, very, very low number. But each and every day we do shoulder tap. And Brett, I'm glad you brought these up because this is proof in the pudding. I mean, from what I'm seeing and from what you're telling me, it's we have to take our time and we have to expect to take our time. Great stuff, Brett.
Absolutely. And I mean, one thing that you kind of alluded to, Eddie, is there should not be gambling within the futures space. If you want to gamble, go to a casino. And the reason I say that is in futures, we should have the edge. That's why when I traded full time, I didn't like going to casinos. I still don't go very often, maybe once every year or two. But it shouldn't be gambling. It should be calculated risk management, and saying to yourself, if I think I can get this reward over risk, I'll take the trade. If I think it's a coin flip, I'm not taking it, because we're here to take money out of the markets, provide liquidity for the markets, and trade successfully, trade by trading for tomorrow. And it shouldn't be gambling. If that means you're only taking one trade in a day, so be it. Take one trade in the day and let the account grow. A lot of times we find that traders can start taking more than that, but it's somewhere to start. And I don't care if you're a seasoned professional trader or it's your first week trading. Sometimes you just need to stop trading for the day on the right side of zero where you have a positive balance, because even though
Right.
you lost something yesterday and you only got 10% of that back today, it feels like a drop in the bucket, but those drops in the bucket add up quick, as we saw from Elliott.
Right. I mean, have your expectation, have your target, have your goal. If you rock it, lock it. Okay. If you're having a good day, you're rocking the day, you're having good trades, um, end the day with a great feeling. All right. If you rock it, lock it. Walk away, enjoy the rest of the day, sit here, watch Top Step TV, make some popcorn, do whatever you got to do, soak your feet, follow whatever you need to do, and enjoy the rest of the day because you have walked away from this trade day with a victory. Keep that in mind.
Absolutely. That's something I used to love to do. I remember on good days I used to sometimes go out and get a new pair of sunglasses or something just to treat myself and get myself away from the computer, and you don't go broke taking profits. And I mean,
Right.
between Jesus and Mark and Elliot, it really, the traders that I tried to highlight accentuate how pigs get fat and hogs can get slaughtered. And that's
And then we
that's
got
what we're
ham
looking to
sandwiches.
avoid.
Yes. And that's where we get our ham sandwiches. All right. All right. Brett, I appreciate you going over this with me. I hope that our traders have learned something. Remember, trade small. It's going to take time. All right. If you need money quick, go to the casino. Okay. But this is a process, this is a commitment. All right. So remember, it's going to take time, and you might have a great day. You looking for singles, you might hit that home run and get to where you want to be a little quicker than usual. But remember, there's always the opposite. We have to expect losing days. We have to accept losing days, but we just got to manage them correctly. So, Brett, I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you do for our traders. You guys over there in the risk management, like you said with Dakota, you called them up and you appreciated the call. That's good stuff, man. It's really good stuff.
It's fun to be here, and it's fun to watch the traders that can find success and learn from them and help them learn at the same time. Thanks so much
You
for having
got
me,
it,
Eddie.
man. Thank you for being here. All right, coming up next here, we got group coaching and looking. We pinned at the top of our chat. Group coaching. Ask Hogue anything. Whoa. All right, get your questions in. We're going to have JD and Hogue with us here for group coaching. Don't go away. This afternoon's going to kick some butt. We'll be right back.